Economic growth has resulted in progress towards decent work, but also unsustainable pressure on the environment. Wage growth has stagnated, inequality has risen and non-standard forms of employment have become more common. But important progress was achieved during the period between 1999 and 2005 in the global economy and in the promotion of decent work, especially in the form of a reduction in working poverty and child labor, and the narrowing of some gender gaps. Yet strikingly, in a context of scarce resources and limited ability to absorb waste, current patterns of economic growth rely largely on the extraction of resources, manufacturing, consumption and waste. In 2013, for example, humanity used 1.7 times as many resources and waste as the biosphere was able to regenerate and absorb. Human activity has already breached planetary boundaries, causing irreversible environmental change at a global scale. Jobs rely heavily on a healthy environment and the services that it provides. Ecosystem services provide economic value and sustain 1.2 billion jobs, which rely directly on natural processes, such as air and water purification, soil renewal and fertilization, pollination, pest control, the moderation of extreme temperatures, as well as protection against storms, floods and strong winds. And economic activity and jobs depend on a stable environment. The increasingly frequent natural disasters associated with human activity have already undermined productivity. Annually, between 2000 and 2015, the expected volume of working hours fell by the equivalent of 0.8% of a year's work. Looking ahead, projected temperature rises will make heat stress more common, reducing working hours by 1.9% globally by 2030. The damage associated with unmitigated climate change will undermine GDP growth and employment. Local air, water and soil pollution, and other forms of environmental degradation, will also negatively affect workers' health, income, food and fuel security, and productivity. The adoption of occupational safety and health measures, social protection policies and other action to adapt to a changing environment can reduce its negative impact. Critically, mitigation policies can prevent degradation.